Well, this week we're learning all about being the boss of your own reading. You're your reading boss, and you're your boss because you have so many tools in your toolbox that can help you read words that you don't know. You have picture power, word power, and so many other powers that you can use. And I'll remind you of those later. But first, I want to teach you a song that will help you be the boss of your own reading. And here's how it goes. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If you think something's wrong and you say what's going on, if there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If you think there's something wrong and you say what's going on, then if there's something wrong, you've got to stop. That didn't go very smooth for me, but we'll try it again later. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If you think there's something wrong, you say what's going on. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. All right. So let's talk about that. Like, okay, if there's something wrong, you got to stop. Then what do you do? Well, when it's kind of like this thing that happened to me when I was trying to get my bike fixed. I went to ride my bike, but I realized there was something broken. So I called up my friend whose job is fixing bikes. And I knew he would know what to do because he knows everything there is to know about bikes. So he looked at my bike and he tried something, but it still didn't work. Do you think that he gave up? Do you think he did? No. You know what? You're absolutely right. I was a little surprised because I thought he'd fix it fast. Instead, he stopped and he looked everything over carefully. I tapped my finger on my temple with I said to him, "Are you going to try something else?" Because that's what I was thinking. And he said, "Yeah, I have lots of tools in my toolbox. I'm going to try something else because there's something wrong. I have to stop and I have to figure out what's wrong and then try all the tools I have to use to fix your bike." And here's the important thing. My friend knew that if his job was to fix the bike, he was going to have to try more than one thing. And then he'd have to think some more and try another thing. And so he tried lots of things and he fixed my problem. Now, it's your job, just like he fixed the bike, it's your job now to use more than one tool to fix what's wrong when you get to reading and something stops you in your reading. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. If there's something wrong, you say what's going on. If there's something wrong, you've got to stop. So today I want to teach you that if you're really in charge of your reading, you do everything it takes to figure out the hard parts. You try something and then you try something else until you get the job done. So you stop at the first sign of trouble, you try something, and then you try something else till you get the job done. Do you think you can do that? Let's take a look at this. We did dinosaur run yesterday, and I was reading along and I had a lot of trouble with a word and I just stopped. I stopped, right? But I wanted to save it for you to help me. So you remember that the dinosaur is very, very hungry. So one day, Big Dinosaur chased Little Dinosaur into a hole in a rock, right? He chased him into a hole in a rock because he wanted to eat him, right? Big Dinosaur was very, and I knew this word. This word was hard for me, so I stopped and I thought about all the tools that I had. And I thought, well, how is he feeling? How is he feeling? And does this word match how he's feeling? Why is he chasing Little Dinosaur? He wants to eat him, right? So then I look at this word right here, and I say, I don't know that word, but what would make sense here? I see that it starts with ha, and then for a short U, gra, e, hungry, hungry. That I use my sound power to figure that word out, and my sneak peek power to figure it out, because I knew from the sneak peek that Big Dinosaur was chasing Little Dinosaur. So Big Dinosaur was very hungry. That makes sense to me. Does it look right? Yes. Hungry. Does it sound right? Yes. Hungry. Does it make sense? Hungry. So that I got. But then I got to this word. He sat and I didn't know what this word was. I just could not figure it out. He sat, and I thought it was walking. He sat and walking and walking. Well, he sat and walked. He sat and walked, or he sat and walking. That didn't make sense, but it sure looked right, right? It has id. That looks right, but I knew it didn't make sense. So what other tools can I use right now to figure this word out? Well, I know he chased him into a hole, right? And I remember that if you have A and I together, that's two vowels. So when the two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So I know this is a, t, wait. I'm using my waited. He sat and waited. Ooh, let's think about that. Does that look right? Yes. Does that sound right? Waited. Does it make sense? Yes. He sat and waited. Big Dinosaur was very hungry. He sat and waited for Little Dinosaur to come out. Yep, that makes sense. That word is waited. So I use a lot of different tools in my toolbox to figure that out. So here's what I want to tell you, that you can do the same thing, right? You can do it all because you know you have all your tools. You need to be the boss of your own reading. Stop at the first sign of trouble. Uh-oh. Try something. And this girl has a tool. She's got a tool, it's a hammer. Well, the first time I stopped and I sounded out that, and I used the first tool of sounding out, it didn't work because it didn't make sense. So I had to switch it and try something else. So then I looked at it again and I remembered what I had told Riley about two vowels go walking and the first one does the talking. So then I heard what a, and then I saw a T, what a t, ed, waited, does that, and then I said to myself, does that make sense? So I tried another tool. So here's what you need to do whenever you come to a word that you don't know. You need to triple check it. Check it 3 times. Does it make sense? Does it sound right? Does it look right? Does it make sense? Does it sound right? Does it look right? So now when you get to a word that you don't know in your reading, I want you to ask yourself, does it make sense? Does that word that you're using make sense with what's happening on that page and in the story? Does it sound right? And does it look right? You try that today while you're reading, okay? And I know you're going to have fun doing it. Be the boss of your own reading. All right.